Hey, good evening. This is Doc Severson for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA trade of the day for Tuesday, the 26th of January. Starting out with BTC versus the US dollar. Again, consolidation over the last couple of weeks, really since the 11th or so of January. So we've been in this pattern for a little while now. And what we're seeing is this is very normal because this is all on declining volume, which again is positive. This is a very positive thing for the market to be doing at this time if we consider to be this a market. And so we're seeing the daily energy come out just a little bit. Now remember that I talked about this pattern being a triangle, and I said, man, we got a problem here if the daily energy builds up and the weekly energy does not support a continued move to the upside. So in other words, if the daily energy says, hey man, I gotta go somewhere, but the weekly energy says, nope, I'm too tired, then the only way that that can rationalize is to move to the downside. So that's exactly what's happened so far. And that's very normal. That's actually good. We want to see this because what this is doing is recharging the weekly chart in very short order. Probably got at least a couple of weeks to go before this thing is going to be ready to break. And I'm going to be pounding on the table at that time. So we're going to be more and more aggressive the further on that we go into the weekly pattern as this builds up energy. Now, what we can do with this is, as I've been talking about for the last few weeks, it's like you don't want to chase after the parabolic move. Never, never, never do that. What you want to do instead is you want to look for these fib retracements. So we've had some moves to the 38.2. We've had some moves to the 50% so far. This is all very normal. So again, you just pick your spot. The deeper the retracement that you pick, the less likely it is for the price to come down there. However, if you do get picked, if your limit order gets picked off, you've got an extreme value condition, likely to be a strong hand very shortly after that. The other thing that you can do is go to an options broker like LedgerX here, and you can pick the strike where you'd be a committed buyer and then look to sell a put at that level, which pays you for basically being obligated to buy down at that strike level. So I've already got a put sold at the 25,000 level, and I'm going to be a committed buyer at the 25,000 level if BTC versus the US dollar gets down to that level by February 26th, which is the expiration for those contracts. If it doesn't, then my contracts will expire. I keep the profits and I will just look for the next strike and laddering downwards in price. So if I can get the 20,000, great. Also, you can see March has got a lot of options here too, which are even deeper in price. So these might be a good option as well too. Certainly selling against the $20,000 level seems to be a no-brainer when it comes to BTC versus the US dollar. Here's Ethereum, and Ethereum has got a ton of energy at the daily chart as well too. But as we've talked about, the weekly chart does need a little bit of rest. And if we pull this together, we can see this beautiful cup pattern here. Really would like to see Ethereum spend a significant amount of time here. Yeah, I know you want to see it continue going higher because we're all impatient. But if you think long-term here, what you do want to see is you want to see a high and tight consolidation around in this area, maybe 100 to 200 points in height, where the price just chucks around in this area, just consolidates in this area, just up and down pogo stick kind of thing. And that is going to build a beautiful setup where the weekly chart will build up the energy in time to break above 20, or in this case 1400, with the upside target being somewhere around 2,700 based on the depth of the cup. This is a classic head with shoulders pattern. And the upside target is the price delta here from the neckline down to the bottom of the head pattern. In this case, this is or I shouldn't say the head pattern, the bottom of the cup pattern here. So when you take the price delta, you extrapolate the price delta to the upside. We have about 2,700, which is good. Okay, not much else moving today. We have a couple of coins that are sort of doing okay. So like Theta is doing nicely today. It's got its own little cup pattern. setting up short term here at about 2.4 as the upper neckline for that. Some of the other coins that we have doing okay today, we have Algo, which is starting to move versus the US dollar. That's good. We also have FTM. So again, this was pointed out to me. And this one looks like a cup with handle, but it's not pausing very long at the handle. And there's not a whole lot of energy to power this thing, and it continues to go higher. So in the absence of leadership from Bitcoin from the top two, we are going to have various coins take off and run for a few days. Now, I don't think it's going to go much past that. So I would be very hesitant about chasing this one up at this level. Some of the other coins that are moving today, AAVE versus the US dollar or versus Tether, in this case, is moving nicely. We have various coins like this is Icon. Remember Icon from 3 years ago? Icon's starting to make a move and is starting to probe into new highs. So this could be the very beginning of a decent move. So keep an eye on Icon. Not much else is moving. Again, FTM is moving nicely. We have Flow versus BTC just coming off the bottom. So not too concerned about that. I really want to see weekly uptrends first. So a lot of these are, again, moving nicely like AAV, E, and FTM. All right, folks, that is it for today's report. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.